Testing. It's good? From here? It's good from here? Okay. A little closer. Okay. Hey, what's up? Right, right. But I told April at the PM and I'll keep the city for now. We will move aside after they finish speaking, and then the other speakers will sit here, and they could sit right in front. You could, we could, yeah, we could usher them, yeah, along, because there are 6 other speakers, I think, so they got to fill these seats, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Prime Minister.
Next to me, we on camera live, right here and here, here and here. Both here, here.
I'll keep this.
Yes.
Please be seated.
We're live, we're just waiting for the, we're live, we're just waiting for the cue. We're live on television, we're just waiting for the cue. Well, good morning, everyone. It's good to see all of you. I hope your day has gotten off to a very good start. We thank all of you for being here. This morning, we have called this press briefing to announce the historic debt reduction project for marine conservation. This morning, Prime Minister Davis, along with several stakeholders present, will detail the benefits of this project, which will mean safeguarding our marine environment and significant cost savings for the Bahamas. We will start this morning with a presentation by Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, and the Minister of Economic Development, the Honorable Michael Halkitis. We also wish to acknowledge stakeholders present who will also be giving presentations this morning, and we will introduce them to you in due course. But now we will start with a presentation by Prime Minister Davis.
Morning all. Friends, for us, the Bahamas is home. and the only home we will ever know. It is the cradle of our dreams, the keeper of our past, and the inheritance we are bound to preserve for those yet unborn. Yet even as we marvel at its beauty, our home faces a climate crisis that threatens our very existence. Over the last 2 decades, the costs of our vulnerability have been staggering. From 2002 to 2022, climate-related disasters inflicted over $6.7 billion in damages, a sum greater than half of our GDP in 2015. This is a tale of numbers, but it's also a tale of survival. For every dollar lost, a story unfolds. A family displaced, a fisherman's boat destroyed, a child's school reduced to ruins. The pandemic compounded these trials, robbing us of an additional $9.5 billion between 2020 and 2023. Losses so severe, they rival the total economic output of our nation for an entire fiscal year. How long can we stand on this cliff, absorbing the blows of nature's wrath? How long can we pay the price for a crisis not of our own making? The toll is unsustainable, economically, socially, and morally. Yet, even in this storm, we must remember we are not victims. We are a resilient people, forged by history and fortified by hope. And so, we gather today not to lament, but to declare that we will not stand idle in the face of such overwhelming cost. Friends, the challenges we face are vast, but so too is our capacity for ingenuity. In the face of mounting economic costs and crises, and the unyielding advance of climate change, the Bahamas has chosen not the path of despair, but the path of innovation. Today, we set forth on a bold new course, one that reimagines how nations like ours can finance resilience and conservation. The Bahamas Debt Conversion Project for Marine Conservation is more than a financial transaction. It is a declaration of intent, a testament to what can be achieved when creativity meets determination. With the support of our Inter-American Development Bank, the Nature Conservancy, Standard Chartered Bank, and a coalition of partners, we have crafted an initiative that transforms debt into opportunity, burden into benefit. This project allows us to refinance $300 million in external debt, generating an estimated $124 million in savings over the next 15 years. These savings are not abstract figures. They represent real investments in the future of our people and our planet. They will fund critical conservation efforts, strengthen the management of our marine protected areas, and safeguard an ecosystem that sustains us all. And we are thinking beyond the immediate. A $20 million endowment set to grow by 2039 ensures that this work will continue long after the debt conversion project concludes. It is a commitment not just to today's Bahamas, but to the future generations who will inherit this nation and the responsibility to care for it. This initiative also brings to bear a comprehensive financial framework leveraging guarantees from the IDB, build its vision, and excel to secure favorable terms. It demonstrates that even a small nation can command the attention and partnership of the world's most respected institutions when the vision is bold and the purpose clear. Through this innovation, we are rewriting the rules of engagement for climate resilience and conservation. The Bahamas is showing the world that we are not passive spectators to the forces of nature. We are active stewards of our destiny. This is how we build resilience, not just in policy or infrastructure, but in the very fabric of our nation. Today, we do not simply borrow against the future. We invest in it. For every dollar saved, for every reef protected, for every mangrove restored, we edge closer to the resilient Bahamas we envision. Our administration views this not just as a financial mechanism, but as a lifeline, a strategy, and a promise fulfilled. The significance of this moment extends beyond financial innovation or international acclaim. This announcement is not about abstract policies or distant goals. It is about what this means for Bahamians today and in the years to come. At its heart, this initiative is about securing a future where Bahamians thrive in harmony with the environment that sustains us. The $124 million in savings this project generates will fund efforts to protect our oceans, which are not merely geographic features, but the lifeblood of our communities. From coral reefs that shelter marine life to mangroves that shield our shores, these ecosystems are the unseen engines of our economy and guardians of our homes. For the fishermen who rise before dawn, this project means sustainable waters teeming with life. For families living along our coasts, it means protection from storm surges and rising seas. For our children, it means a chance to inherit the Bahamas where natural beauty is preserved and economic opportunities abound. The establishment of a $20 million endowment ensures that these efforts will endure beyond the project's term, offering long-term stability for marine conservation and management. This initiative also reflects a broader commitment to strengthening our nation. Through improved debt management and institutional frameworks, the Bahamas positions itself as a leader in resilience and sustainability. These efforts are not only about protecting nature, but about creating jobs, supporting local communities, and ensuring that the economy can weather future storms, both literal and metaphorical. Above all, this project is a statement of our values. It affirms that Bahamians will not stand idly by as the challenges of climate change threaten our way of life. Instead, we will lead with vision, act with purpose, and ensure that every step we take today lays the foundation for a brighter tomorrow. This is what this moment means for us. It is hope, it is action, and it is a future where the Bahamas thrives, not in spite of our challenges, but because we choose to rise above them. Friends, standing still has never been an option for us. The Bahamas, through those surrounded by the boundless oceans, has never been an island in spirit. Our history is one of connection, of seeking partnerships, forging alliances, and finding common ground with those who share in our struggles and aspirations. Today, that spirit of connection takes on new urgency. The challenges before us, rising seas, intensifying storms, and economic upheavals, are greater than any one nation can bear alone. They demand boldness not just in thought, but in action. And they demand that we reach beyond our shores to find allies in this fight. Our response to the mounting costs of climate change cannot be isolation or resignation. It must be innovation. It must be collaboration. The Bahamas has shown the world before that even a small nation can lead, and today we stand ready to lead again. Through visionary partnerships with organizations like the Inter-American Development Bank, the Nature Conservancy, and global institutions, we are demonstrating what is possible when nations and partners act together. The project we unveil today is a testament to the power of shared resolve, to the belief that solutions to global problems are not found in silos, but in solidarity. Standing still is the luxury of those unscathed by climate's wrath. But for us, every rising tide and every storm is a clarion call to act, to adapt, and to innovate. In forging these partnerships, we are not merely addressing the present crisis. We are building a foundation for resilience that will endure for generations. Let the world take note. The Bahamas will not wait for rescue, nor will we falter in the face of these challenges. We are not alone in this fight, and together we shall ensure that our islands and our people and our legacy not only survive, but thrive. Thank you.
We now
Minister-
welcome
oh, sorry.
Minister of Economic Development, the Honorable Michael Halkitis.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Hadley. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, Prime Minister. I would make a few comments on the transaction itself, on the structure of the transaction, how this fits into our liability management objectives, and just say a few words about the conservation aspects of the transaction. And so the government of the Bahamas launched the Debt Conversion for Marine Conservation Project with the support of the IDB, the Nature Conservancy, Builders Vision, AXA XL, and Standard Chartered Bank, which aims to fund ambitious marine conservation and the management of the Bahamas National Protected Areas System. As part of the transaction, the Bahamas bought back US $300 million of the external indebtedness, including $218 million nominal amount via a public tender to buy back outstanding Eurobonds, using proceeds from a Standard Chartered Bank loan, which benefited from credit enhancement from the IDB, Builders Vision, and AXA XL. As the Prime Minister said, the transaction is expected to generate $124 million in nominal cash savings, representing 41.2% of the new facility's size, which will be earmarked for marine conservation in the Bahamas over the next 15 years. This project is a part of our debt management strategy focused on structuring innovative external financing transactions that leverage official support and support a decrease in the country's cost of financing. The transaction marks the second transaction as part of the Building a Social and Inclusive Blue Economy in the Bahamas in collaboration with the IDB, the first part of which leveraged a $200 million guarantee to raise $500 million in the international loan market that was completed earlier this year. The operation was funded by a 15-year, fully underwritten $300 million loan from Standard Chartered Bank and benefited from a comprehensive credit enhancement package, a $200 million credit guarantee from the IDB, a $70 million collateralized guarantee from Builders Vision, and $30 million in credit insurance from AXA XL. The Bahamas, the credit enhancement package, that credit enhancement package that I just outlined, allowed the Bahamas to secure a highly favorable average coupon, that's the interest rate, of 4.7%, roughly aligned with the IDB's 10-year yield and significantly lower than outstanding yields on the Bahamas repurchased debt. So we were able to refinance at a significantly lower cost on some of the outstanding debt that we repurchased. The Bahamas Debt Conversion for Marine Conservation Project sets an innovative precedent in the debt for nature space. It is the first time that marine protected area commitments are included explicitly in conservation outcomes to support climate change mitigation and adaptation goals. It is the first time that a private investor builder's vision, an impact platform founded by Lucas Walton, is providing a co-guarantee alongside a multilateral development bank. And it's the first time that a private insurer, AXA XL, is providing credit insurance alongside an MDB, a multinational development bank. And this new financing also features a natural disaster and pandemic event clause, advancing the government's climate resilience efforts and providing liquidity headroom in the case of adverse climate events. As I said, this is part of our liability management strategy. And we balanced our short-term refinancing pressures with capturing discounts on the back end of the international bond curve. And what that means is we were able to refinance some of our upcoming debt, have a longer maturity and a lower interest rate, which is a win-win situation. And so this, in summary, and I'll be available to answer some questions afterwards on the technical nature of the project. And finally, to say, as far as conservation aspects are concerned, the Nature Conservancy's Nature Bonds program supplied expertise to help ensure the project's conservation commitments are ambitious, achievable, and measurable, and to mobilize the credit enhancement. The Nature Conservancy will provide long-term technical support to government with respect to the program through its in-country, regional, and global resources. I'll stop there, but as I said, I'll be available for questions on the structure itself as we move on. But suffice to say, as the Prime Minister said, we're very, very excited about this, to be able to complete this project, which provides wins in so many areas, inclusive of cost savings to the government and being able to invest in our marine environment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister and Minister Halkitis. We now invite remarks from Ms. Shirley Gale, who is the country representative for the Bahamas Inter-American Development Bank.
Honorable Prime Minister Davis, Minister Halkitis, officials, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you. I would like to bring you greetings on behalf of the Inter-American Development Bank and to say that it is my absolute pleasure to be representing the bank here with you today as we join in the announcement of the Bahamas Debt Conversion Project for Marine Conservation. As you have already heard from the Prime Minister and Minister Halkitis, this is a landmark initiative that leverages innovative financing to support fiscal sustainability, environmental conservation, and climate resilience. It represents indeed many, many firsts, which Minister Halkitis has outlined. This debt conversion project for marine conservation is part of a broader IDB program that supports key policies in areas of conservation and fiscal management, and is implemented through an innovative guarantee structure to increase the fiscal space and the resources available for conservation. The project underscores the power of partnerships and innovation and demonstrates not just how countries, but small island developing states like the Bahamas can mobilize resources, reduce fiscal pressure, tackle environmental challenges through strategic collaboration and forward-thinking approaches. And this approach is indeed forward-thinking and revolutionary. The bank is therefore really proud to have played a role in facilitating dialogue among the partners, designing the credit enhancement structure, and crowding in both donor and private sector support. And our aim was to ensure that the Bahamas could achieve a transaction that provides fiscal support and at the same time delivers tangible environmental benefits. This work really represents a continuation of the work in the blue economy that the bank has been supporting in the Bahamas for some time now. It demonstrates our commitment to the country in an area that is critical to its economic and sustainable growth. The success of the project is built on the robust financial structure that is designed to maximize impact. And as you heard, the bank has put up a $200 million credit guarantee, complemented by other credit enhancement mechanisms. The resources unlocked by this initiative will support critical activities, including strengthening the management of marine protected areas through the development and implementation of climate-smart management plans, and the completion of a national mangrove management plan to protect vital ecosystems such as coral reefs, seagrass meadows, and mangrove forests. And there is already significant work going on in these areas. While this project focuses on nature conservation, it also highlights the broader potential of debt for climate operations. These innovative financial tools empower countries to manage the economic risks tied to climate change while building resilience and addressing environmental priorities. The bank therefore wants to emphasize that we remain committed and we continue to support the Bahamas in its journey towards a more resilient, inclusive, and sustainable future. Thank you very much.
Approach for conservation, which unlock much needed funding, technical assistance, commitments, and planning to help countries achieve their ocean conservation and climate goals while also supporting local communities. The Bahamas Debt Conversion Project for Marine Conservation will be the fifth such project facilitated by TNC's Nature Bonds program, along with those in the Seychelles, Belize, Barbados, and Gabon. In addition to serving as a project originator and credit enhancement facilitator for this transaction, TNC also served as a conservation and technical advisor to the government, building on our legacy of more than 20 years supporting conservation efforts in the Bahamas. And as the Prime Minister mentioned, we will continue to work with the government of the Bahamas and other partners on this project throughout the 15 years of implementation. I also want to reiterate and highlight that this is the first time that a private investor, Builders Vision, which is an impact platform founded by Lucas Walton, is providing a co-guarantee alongside a multilateral development bank. It is also the first time that a private insurer, AXA XL, is providing credit enhancement in support of a sustainable issuance for nature and climate. We wish to thank Builders Vision and AXA XL for partnering with TNC on this groundbreaking effort. The Bahamas is a conservation leader with one of the largest systems of marine protected areas in the Caribbean, now at 16.8 million acres. The 11 conservation milestones that will be pursued through this project will accelerate effective management of our MPA network alongside other climate adaptation and sustainable ocean use goals. The Nature Conservancy wishes to thank the government of the Bahamas for the opportunity to partner with you on this transformative initiative that is securing a win for both people and nature of our country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Smith, for those remarks. We'd now like to welcome Marissa Drew, Chief Sustainability Officer with Standard Chartered. Marissa Drew. Okay, it appears that she may not be available. We will move on now to Mr. Glenn Bannister, Chairman of the Bahamas Protected Areas Fund, BPAF.
Honorable Prime Minister Davis, Minister Halkitis, and P.S. Stirrup, members of the various NGOs, ladies and gentlemen. As chair of the Bahamas Protected Area Fund, I am extremely pleased to extend congratulations to the government of the Bahamas, the Inter-American Development Bank, the Nature Conservancy, and all other partners for the structuring of the Bahamas' first debt swap as a truly innovative, historical, and visionary conservation mechanism. The Bahamas Debt Conversion Project for Marine Conservation will produce a catalytic impact across our islands, particularly for the next 15 years. BPAF is also very graciously pleased to be the Conservation Trust Fund designated for managing the conservation flows arising from the debt conversion project. The funding will support conservation and environmental sustainable activities in the Bahamas. Among other activities, the fund will support improved management marine protected areas through grants for addressing much-needed capacity building across the sector, conducting MPA management effectiveness assessments, and developing and implementing climate-smart management plans. This fund will also support the government with a number of projects planned, such as completing and implementing a marine spatial plan for our ocean, developing and implementing a national climate adoption plan, developing and adopting the national fisheries management plans and regulations, and updating the master plan for the Bahamas National Protected Area System. It will also support the funding of needed capacity within management ministries and organizations, ensure greater conservation impact across our islands, improve our resilience to climate change, and realize new and sustained benefits for local communities through the expansion of the blue economy. Because funding would be directed to a conservation endowment, the project would also provide sustainable financing for marine conservation for many generations to come. BFAF will work closely with the government of the Bahamas and its partners through the life of this project. Funds will be managed under BFAF's core principles of transparency, independence, and accountability. A grants technical committee will be responsible for the review of each funding proposal that is submitted to BPAF under this funding window to ensure that the conservation commitments under the project are being realized. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bannister, for those remarks. I'd like to reintroduce now Ms. Marissa Drew, Chief Sustainability Officer with Standard Chartered, who will deliver her remarks virtually.
Thank you very much. Ministers and esteemed guests, and most importantly, collaboration partners. I represent Standard Chartered, and I must say that we are very proud to have played a leading role in being your lead underwriter for this incredibly important Debt for Nature swap transaction. This transaction to us demonstrates the strength of our commitment to the Bahamas, but also to the sustainability and the sustainable development of this really important asset class. For us, we see this as a landmark transaction that not only unlocks millions of funding over the next 15 years and beyond to support the management of marine ecosystems and protected areas, which are so critical in supporting adaptation, sustainable livelihoods, nature, and the fight against climate change, but the transaction serves as a model for those who want to come behind. We're very excited that with each successive transaction, we're showing new models of collaboration, we're creating efficiencies and the opportunity to replicate and scale. At Standard Chartered, nature is at the heart of our strategic priorities of the bank and in my organization, so much so that nature is placed in a specific innovation hub. And we've heard many times already today the word innovation. And why is that? Because if we're going to really achieve material impacts in the fight against climate change, and particularly against the health of our oceans, we need new systems thinking, we need new financial models and structures, we need radical collaboration, and we need progressive thinking. So in that capacity, I want to commend the progressive thinking and participation of the Bahamian government, and I want to thank them and you for the trust and honor to allow us to act as your underwriter. So congratulations to all of our partners and to the ministries for achieving such an important transaction for marine conservation. Thank you very much, all.
Thank you very much, Ms. Drew, for those remarks. And finally, I'd like to welcome Lakeisha Anderson Roll, who is the Executive Director of the Bahamas National Trust.
Thank you so much. Standing on the protocol that has already been established, good morning, everyone. It's great to be here with you. I would like to first acknowledge the President of the Bahamas National Trust, who has joined me, Ms. Joanne Smith. And we are really, really proud and honored to be here today because it really marks a pivotal moment in our nation's commitment to preserving its national treasures. The Bahamas Debt Conversion Project for Marine Conservation is not merely a financial achievement that you would have heard earlier. It is a powerful affirmation of our nation's leadership in safeguarding the ecosystems that sustains us all. As custodians of the Bahamas' extensive national park system, the Bahamas National Trust proudly embraces the opportunity to transform this significant investment into real and meaningful conservation results. Together with the government, conservation partners, and local communities, we will strengthen the stewardship and management of our recently expanded marine protected areas network, ensuring they are resilient and capable of withstanding the climate change. We will increase manpower across the islands to improve on-site marine protected area management and work closely within Bahamian communities to develop and implement climate-smart management plans. We will complete a national mangrove management plan, which will focus on the management and restoration of these critical ecosystems that serves as natural defenses against storms and rising seas. Additionally, we will finalize and implement a marine spatial plan to balance the increasing demands on our ocean with the need for sustainable use and effective management of our vast marine environment. These commitments represents a major leap forward in how the Bahamas safeguards over 6.8 million hectares of marine protected areas and effectively manages its marine resources as a collective whole. At the BNT, we believe strongly that true leadership in conservation requires bold action and a readiness to embrace innovation. With the steadfast support of the Bahamian government and our partners, this project reinforces the Bahamas' position as a global leader in marine conservation. Today, we take pride not only in preserving the natural wealth of our islands, but also the livelihoods and legacy they provide for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you to all of our speakers. That ends our schedule of presentations this morning. At this point, before we take questions, I offer apologies for Prime Minister Davis, who has to leave at this point for another engagement. But we have reached the phase now where we will take questions from members of the media. There are members of the media in the room, and there are others joining us virtually. We will begin with those in the room, if there are any questions from local media. If you can come to the front for us, to the microphone, that would be helpful. Please state your name and media house.
Good morning, Face Simmons Tribune. I know that over the course of this administration, a few initiatives have been discussed, one of these being the Debt for Nature swap that we're dealing with today, as well as the carbon credits. So can you give me an update as to where the carbon credits are now that we've gone on to this Debt for Nature?
I have to undertake to get you that update. I'm not involved in the sort of day-to-day. So I couldn't address exactly where that is. I know it's in process, but I'll have to undertake to get it to you, and perhaps at the next arrangement, because that doesn't fall strictly within what
No
I
problem.
would be charged with.
Yeah, so a few, I think, weeks ago, the government had bought back about $216 million of debt, bonds, from the international market. So can you say, or can you speak to how, if any of those initiatives are going to be undertaken again, and was that a wider part of a debt management program?
Yes, it is a part of it. As a matter of fact, that's what a big part of this transaction is repurchase of $218 million nominal value. What that means is you have Eurobonds traded on the market. A lot of them have been trading at what we call a discount, less than the par value. So to be able to go out, in simple terms, when the government issues a bond, at the end of the term of that bond, we pay what we call par value 100%. To the extent that some of those were trading at less than 100, we are able to buy those back, and then so we achieve some savings by that repurchase. And so it is a part of our strategy. It's a big part of this transaction. We realize the savings, and it's something, when we speak about liability management, it's something going forward that we intend to continue. Our objective is to lower the cost of our debt, meaning any opportunity that we have to refinance it, to refinance high debt at a high interest debt at a low interest level. We will do that to save the interest cost and apply those savings elsewhere. As in the case of this transaction, it's for marine conservation. But the idea is that going forward, we'll continue to look for opportunities to achieve lower costs, as well as have a smooth, what we call a maturity profile, where we're having the bonds and the other indebtedness come due at a time when, you know, we can better manage the maturities. I'm trying not to use too much technical terms, but you're trying to get a smooth maturity profile, meaning you don't have all of your indebtedness coming due in one particular year. You want to smooth it out, so you have a little bit coming due every year. That way you're better able to plan and to refinance. But that is a big part of this as well.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Next question, please.
Hi, Minister Alcides. Nice to see you again.
Good to see you.
Yuri Kemp from the Nassau Guardian. I just want to understand the mechanics of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're buying back some of the bonds from the market.
And and 218 million. This is a $300 million transaction.
Mm-hmm.
218 million approximately buying back Euro bonds and then retiring some other debt, some other loans.
And we're borrowing money from Standard Chartered
Yes, to do that.
and being backed by the IDB.
Correct.
Okay. That's all I want to understand.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
The guarantee by the IDB ensures that we're able to get, in this case, we get a low rate, in this case, 4.7% fixed rate.
Understood. Thank you.
Are there further questions in the room?
Good morning, Minister. Felicity Davil, ZNS. How will the funds be distributed and managed over the 15 years?
There is, I think it's $8.2 million per year over 15 years that goes into the, I think it's called that goes into the Bahamas Protected Areas Fund. Yes. And so what happens is it doesn't go into the consolidated fund.
Okay.
It goes directly to the Bahamas Protected Areas Fund for them to manage.
Them being
The Bahamas Protected Areas Fund. Yeah. It's represented here.
good. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you.
All right, there are also several persons waiting online with questions. We will begin to take those now. Do we have the first question? Okay, it doesn't appear that the persons listening online have questions for us. But Minister Alcides will offer some concluding remarks. Thank you all again for being here.
Yes, thank you very much, Mrs. Adderley. If there are no further questions, I just want to once again publicly thank all of the partners in this transaction, the IDB, Nature Conservancy, Bahamas National Trust, all partners, I hope I'm not, BPAF, Bahamas Protected Areas Fund, Standard Chartered Bank, AXA, Builders. This transaction is the conclusion of, or the conclusion of this transaction is the result of building partnerships with all of these organizations, and it demonstrates some of the fruits of the advocacy locally and internationally of our Prime Minister. He was saying to me just before he left that for Standard Chartered, and thank you to Standard Chartered, he actually met with Standard Chartered when he made his first appearance at the UN General Assembly back in 2021. And so that relationship was established. And so over the years, we have built to this point. We thank the IDB. This is the second part of a transaction that we agreed that took a lot of negotiation and a lot of time, but thankfully we have a partner in the IDB that has stood with us over many, many years, and particularly as we are emerging from the COVID-19 pandemic, I was able to really stand by us as we sought to reorganize our public finances. And I would just say to those listening that this is step one. A big part of our liability management program is to continue to seek out opportunities where we can pay off high-cost debt or debt that has lumpy maturities and smooth out that maturity profile. And so the fact that our financing profile, our fiscal profile, the health of the finances of the government has enabled us to reach this point, and it will enable us to pursue some additional transactions as we move into the new year. The savings would have been even higher, but our finances improved over the past 2 years, and that ate away some of the savings. But again, very, very positive transactions. Thank you all once again for your partnership, your commitment to support us, members of the press. Thank you, everybody. Good morning.
Again, I'd like to thank everyone for being here. A very special thank you to all of our stakeholders. We look forward to working with you in the months and years ahead, and most notably to the yields from this very important project. That brings our press briefing to a close. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.